Can you hear me now? Oh, I can't hear you. It still says you're muted. Toni, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm better now that you're here. Hey, I like your background.
Oh, you like?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
You got France, DC, Greece.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Look at you, classy lady.
I'm trying.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, I was like, she's sending me notes. I did mine. I'm like, she is on it.
Well, I want you to know that I appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I just want to,
Absolutely.
value your time, respect your time. And I'm a little OCD too, so.
And you know what? I understand and I appreciate it because I'm just a little OCD as well.
Okay. So how are
when
you
said
doing?
this to me, I was like, "Oh my God, I love her." I'm doing very well, very well compared to the rest of this country and this world.
Yeah.
A lot of praying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yes.
But I'm happy to do things like this and be, out there for our accounts and, to help you guys grow your business and all that fun stuff.
Oh, well, we appreciate it. We really do.
Absolutely.
So let me make sure I have the pronunciation of your name. It's Marsala Vincio?
Oh, you could just say Vince.
Vince. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. Yeah, Delta they have to do our legal name, and that's my Italian legal name.
Okay.
So it's Vincenzo.
Oh, okay.
Is the way so.
Where from Italy are you from?
Sicily.
Wow. I was supposed to go there. I was supposed to go there this fall.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
If everything's going to go okay,
this year.
I know. It's tough. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to have a vaccine, and things will be okay.
Okay. Do you have family still there?
Yeah, most of them are still there.
Okay. How are they?
Yeah. Thank God everyone's okay.
Good.
Thank God everyone's okay. And I have family in right outside Milan, and we were really worried about them, and they did very well. Thank goodness.
Okay, great. So, as I mentioned to you before, this is usually done live at 7, but I understand the travel industry, you guys are busy, so I'm flexible. I'm just glad to have
Thank you. Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for being flexible and doing this for us.
I understand. So I do want to apologize to my viewers because I'm going to post this tonight at 7. So I just want to say, you guys, I do apologize. As I mentioned before, the travel industry is, we have to remain flexible with all the changes and stuff as it relates to what's going on in the world. But I'm going to post this today at 7. You guys can leave your questions. And if it's something I can't answer, then I'll reach back out to Vince and then he'll respond. Or you can go on the site and respond yourself. I'm going to post it on Facebook. So, I can
respond. Great.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a little series I do every Thursday. I think this is my 4th one. No, this is my 5th one because next week is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just a little mini series. I want to get people's mind off of the heaviness of what's happening in the world, and as you mentioned before, the borders will open again.
They are, yes. Yep.
Yeah. So I just want them to, as I said, get their mind off of what's happening and get the gears churning about, that wish list.
Right.
Start planning. The sooner you plan, the better. It's less stressful. At least I found that to be the case for myself and many of my clients. So I was reading your bio, and your bio is a little different than a few of my previous guests in that you have a specific degree focused on travel and tourism. So how did that come about?
So the way it came about, and thank you for asking, Toni, is as a little boy, most of my family, being in Italy, my parents every other summer would send my sister and I to Italy. And we would go on unaccompanied minors, like, you wouldn't do that these days, right? But I just fell in love with that whole experience of flying, was number one. I thought it was just fascinating, like all little boys and little girls, we used to get fascinated by different things that are around us. And I just loved being multicultural, having those two cultures that are part of me. I love the United States, and I love Italy, and I love Europe. And I just thought to myself, well, what can I do that's going to get me to travel around the world and somebody else pay for it?
Right.
Right.
That's good. And so you're living like your dream job right now then, huh?
I am. I've been very blessed. Yeah, there are days I'm like, is it a dream? No, okay, but that's like everything.
Yeah. Because you're doing something different now. You're in the office, probably not as much traveling as you did before, not as much interaction and stuff. So it's a little less fun, but still, you're in the industry.
But you know what? I'm in the industry, and I my friends always ask me, like, they're like, hey, Vince, what do you do for a living? And they're like, oh, you're in the travel industry. I said, yeah, I'm a travel agent's advocate. And they're like, what?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, my number one job that Delta Vacations has put me into is to ensure that our travel agent partners are successful. We give you the tools. You tell us to jump, and I'm like, how high? Stuff like that. So no, it is a dream job because I know to my core what makes me happy day to day is knowing that I'm helping. And I think we have such a beautiful planet, such beautiful people all over the world. And I think the best form of education is travel. And and I think if I can one little soul in this world make one person's life different or better, then I've succeeded.
Yes.
And I think travel is a vehicle for that. That's why I love it so much.
I think I coined it as traveling is like reading a book but with your feet.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really
love
like
them both.
that.
I love them both. I do so much reading ahead of time for not only my travels, but my clients' travel. And then I read both fiction and nonfiction. And so when I actually get to the place, I'm like a kid in a candy store. And I feel that. Go ahead.
I was going to say we're very much alike because I like to do my research before I go somewhere. Yep.
Yeah. I had some business partners would say to me, don't you want to farm out when your clients want you to develop customized itineraries? I'm like, no, I love that part because I get to read and dig up and stuff. And then if it's a destination that I personally visited, oh my gosh, I think I give them too much information. I'm like, no, you have to go down this street because this, you have to do this. You have to use this tour guide.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we love so much about what we do. Is to share that knowledge. And you can't get that from a computer.
No.
Our computers are wonderful tools, but remember that the Encyclopedia Britannica?
Yes.
It was a great tool, but unless you opened it up and read it, it didn't do any good. Yes. And I think that's what the internet is these days. It's a vehicle to get you information, but you know what? It's all about that human contact and that relationship.
Nothing can replace it.
Nope. Yeah. People try, but we go back to.
I think the times that we're in now prove that we need that human interaction. Because we took that hug, that handshake, that kind of personal space interaction for granted. We
sure did.
And we can Zoom or we can use the internet to do our research, but nothing takes the place of that human interaction. Yeah.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Yeah.
These are great tools that we have, and we're blessed to have them. But there's nothing like being somewhere and, you know, and you and I having a relationship where one day I can see you and give you a big old hug.
Yes.
So thank you for allowing us to do this, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
I actually used you guys, I believe it was, last year, it was earlier last year. I had some clients who did a birthday trip to, they were going to Barcelona, but they wanted to make a stop over at Ibiza. And you guys were the only suppliers that I had that would give them the hotel there.
In Ibiza?
Yes. But they got a bonus because they was like, okay, we can get them from Barcelona to Ibiza, but on their way back, they have to stop in Amsterdam.
Well, yeah. What do you say to that?
I mean, if you're forcing me.
Exactly. Okay.
Right. I mean, if that's my only choice. Because it was a great deal. And I myself was upset because I was like, that was before I went to North Africa. And I was
nice.
If I wasn't going to North Africa, I would have been on that trip with them. I was like, Barcelona, Ibiza, and Amsterdam? All for
those are 3 party cities.
Oh my gosh. I definitely.
Those are 3 party cities.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Let's get back to the purpose of this call.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to give you the floor, and you tell us about Delta Vacation. Who are you? Where did you come from, and why?
Okay. And why? Oh, sure. You mean like personally or Delta Vacation?
Say that again.
I'm only kidding. I'd say, no, I was just teasing. I was like, personally or Delta Vacations? Who are we? I'm just teasing you. But we are, you know, the great thing about Delta Vacations, not just, you know, that we have Toni that books us, because that's why we're in business, is because we need our travel agent partners, is that we are a wholly owned division of Delta Airlines. So what that means to you, the consumer, is that you're used to Delta Airlines providing you a premier class of service. You know who we are, you know our ethics, you know our values. Well, what that does on the vacation side of the tour operator side of our business is those same values come across to Delta Vacations and who we are as a company, because that is our parent company. We're based in Atlanta at Delta's global headquarters, so we're right there right there on property with Delta Airlines. So whatever they need from us, we have it for them, and vice versa. They tell us, you know, hey, do you guys need a bigger plane into Aruba? And we're always like, yeah, of course we do. You know? So that is our relationship with Delta, our parent company. Unlike some companies out there that are tied to an airline, that they're not owned by the airline, they are actually outsourced.
Yes.
And that's not us. We are the same company.
Yeah. That's good. So who are some of your flying partners?
So we're really lucky because some of our flying partners are some of the premier airlines in the industry, especially to Europe. So our joint venture partners, which means that we fly as one airline. So when we say joint venture, it means that that airline partner of ours and a Delta flight, when the Delta flight lands, they can take our passengers and connect them around the world. So those partners are, going back to Amsterdam, KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, that's what KLM stands for, Air France, Alitalia. Those are the 3 airlines that are part of the joint venture program. That started this, the SkyTeam Alliance, because that is our alliance group, is SkyTeam Alliance. And for those of you that don't know what SkyTeam Alliance is, or an airline alliance program is, and it's to help you get anywhere in the world with one group of airlines. Because we know at Delta Airlines, we're not going to be able to get you, let's say, to Cambodia or places like that. But our partner, Korean Air, can. So Korean Air can get you there. We also have Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Australia, LATAM. We have the biggest footprint in Latin America now with our partner LATAM. We also own 49% of Aeromexico, so Aeromexico Airlines. So those are just some of our partners. Also, let's see, we also have partnership with Air Europa, Aerolíneas Argentinas, and airlines like that. So we got a good footprint in the world.
So with those partners, we can expect, and I say we, I mean my clients and myself and anyone else who chooses to watch this video, they can expect that same level of service with your extended partners that Delta, that we're used to getting from Delta.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? And we give great service at Delta, but you know, in some cultures, like the Korean culture, it might be even more of a higher end service because that's just the way their culture is.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. So, you know, you're going to get the Delta service and above and beyond.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys are with, I mean, you guys have, it's at least 230 destinations that you fly to?
Well, that's 230 destinations that Delta Vacations services. Delta Airlines flies to over 600 destinations worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah. So the vacation product is in 230 destinations.
Okay. Yeah. So what are some of your most popular destinations, at least from 2019?
For 2019. Okay, so I can go back to the past where we want to kind of go, or jump to 2021 is what we all want to do, right?
Too. Let's do 2019 and 2021.
Yeah, there you go. So for 2019, we saw a huge increase into Europe bookings.
Oh, really?
It was Europe. Now, having said that, our bread and butter within the company and our biggest products is the Caribbean, Mexico, and Hawaii as well. Mm-hmm. So that's our biggest product, but we saw a huge uptake into Europe bookings for 2019. And we were really excited about that. The demand was coming in during 2019 for more Asia products. So we added this in you got to love how timing works out. On April 1st, 2020, we added 1,600 hotels in Asia that have been put on pause.
Right.
It is what it is. But the good news about that is the American traveler, yes, we do want, I love Cancun. Unlike you, Toni, I'm going to research about Cancun. I want to sit on the beach for a day, but I want to go out and visit the Yucatan Peninsula. Yeah. I want to see what it was like, the Mayans, what they went through, what it was like when the Aztec arrived and attacked, what their culture was like, because that's the beauty of the destination. Yeah. So we have all of that for you as well. We can book you on the hotel and get you to the beach destination. But we also have the cultural aspect of it as well. So that's how we build our product.
Okay. And so what do you have in the pipes for 2021?
So for 2021, we are playing things more on a quarterly basis. And what I mean by that is we're watching each country as they go through their COVID-19 issues, if you will. So right now, we know that the U.S., the continental U.S., and Canada are going to be huge. They're going to be huge the fourth quarter of this year, and they're going to be huge for we believe, the beginning of 2021 as well. Now, I pulled some stats for you earlier when I got your wonderful email. I found out that our number one destination right now is what I was just talking about, Cancun.
Oh, really?
Isn't that interesting? Because for Americans, it's no more than a 3.5-hour flight from the most northern part of the United States. So it's Cancun, Punta Cana, St. Lucia.
Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful St. Lucia. I was so happy to read that and to see that, because that's one of my favorite islands and such a beautiful people. Not that the other destinations aren't, they're all fantastic, but St. Lucia gives you that British feel, that more the European feel of an island, opposed to the Cancun or the Punta Cana, which are all exciting and fun in their own right as well.
Yeah, I think.
But don't forget, I apologize. I was going to say U.S. and Canada. Canada. For clients that were looking to go to Europe this year, Canada seems to be where they want it.
Yeah, that is a good alternative in comparison. Yeah. That would make sense.
Absolutely.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I've been to Canada. I traveled. I think all of Canada, at least most of it, and I enjoy myself. I can see myself going back. It's a great place. Yeah. But I've also been to Cancun, and I enjoyed myself there as well. It's
wonderful. It's wonderful. And if someone's looking for like a French European experience with, I mean, the food in Canada is great, but if you want more of that French experience, Quebec. If you go to the city of Quebec City, it's one of my favorite places in the world. Beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
The cheeses, the food, the culture, the language, the old city, which feels like you're stepping back in time. It's just fantastic.
I agree. Yeah. So, all right. Let's well, since we touched on it, cohort. I know you guys probably can't talk too much about it because you're still, developing the process and procedures and so forth. But what has Delta Vacation done to make the traveler more confident and more comfortable with using your services?
Absolutely. So it starts with the airline, because that's where your vacation starts. So here's some of the things, and I apologize, I'm going to read them and just to run them down. So here's what we've been doing at Delta Airlines, and then I'll jump into some of our hotel partners. So you'll know what some of them are doing. Now, let me just say with the hotel partners, it's really, everyone's going to be doing something along the same lines, but everyone has their own process. But at the airport, here's what we're doing. We're wiping down all high-touch, high-point areas that consumers and our employees touch. We're doing electrostatic spraying. And Toni, I can send you some links later with some videos on what we're doing, so that if you want to share that. We have plexiglass shields at check-in counters, at the the Delta Sky Club as well. We have social distancing markers throughout the airport. Throughout the gatehouse as well. We are asking people to social distance while they're at the gatehouse as well there. Sanitizing stations throughout. We also are now doing prepackaged food. So your flight attendant will no longer, if you're in first class, put a meal that is unpackaged in front of you where he or she could breathe on it. It will be covered and sealed for you. Also, our crews and passengers are required to wear masks at all times on board the aircraft as well. So let's see here. We also have customer care kits, which give your clients hand sanitizers, wipes, and a mask, because we know that sometimes someone may have a mask, it may rip, or something may happen to it as well. We've also done adjusted boarding. So for those of you that remember when we used to board the aircraft from the back of the aircraft to the front, we're going back to that, back in time. So our goal is that people are not going to be standing over each other and breathing on each other as they board the aircraft.
That's some of the stuff
we're doing there.
That's good. That's the first time I heard that.
And we are staying strict with not booking the middle seat on the aircraft. Now, here's something that you may see. You may see a parent, a child, and another parent, and they're all traveling together. But that has to be approved by our agents in the gatehouse and our flight crew. They're the ones that have to approve that. So you're going to see stuff like that. Do you want to know what we're doing in the aircraft?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so you got it. I got a lot of stuff here for you. See, I told you I'm OCD like you, which is a good trait in this industry, right? So we have electrostatic sprayers throughout the aircraft. So what we do is, this is brand new in the industry, and I believe this is a correct statement. This is what Delta Airlines is doing. I'm not sure about the other guys, but every aircraft, every time she lands, and we call them she's because they're beautiful. So even if it's a flight Atlanta to Boston, and that plane goes from Boston to Detroit, we do electrostatic, which kills all viruses, including the coronavirus. This one that we're battling right now kills all bacteria on board the aircraft. The aircraft gets wiped down again, and she will not fly unless the ground crew and our in-flight crew feel that the aircraft is clean enough to welcome passengers on board.
Okay.
So that's a change, because the electrostatic cleaning was really reserved more for the long haul flights that were in the air for 12 hours, and they really needed that deep clean. Well, we had a tool that kills the coronavirus, so now we just decided we're going to deploy it on every single flight, every day, everywhere. So that is a major change.
That's great. Yeah.
And it's very healthy because, believe it or not, it's mostly Lysol. It's mostly the Lysol product that's in it. So it's not anything bad for you. Plus, we have better HEPA filters. We've upgraded our HEPA filters, which now actually catch the coronavirus. The aircraft now has always been, the air quality on board, believe it or not, has been pretty good throughout the years. But remember, you're 6 miles above the earth, and you're in a compressurized cabin. So that's why sometimes you were like, oh, God, the air on here, or I need to get, cooler air. But we are increasing the amount of times that fresh air comes into the cabin. So we have that for the clients as well.
That's good.
So that's exciting about that.
Yeah.
So
that's
when you get on the ground, okay.
You're mentioning a lot of firsts that I've not heard about the HEPA filter and doing the cleaning, but even between the short rides. So that's good. That should give clients a lot of comfort and confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I heard this saying, and it was from a friend of mine in the cruise line industry. And what she said was, it's not the ships that are dirty that brought the virus. And that's true. It's not. It was not the aircraft. It's not the ships. It's not the supermarket. And I can go on and on and on. But it was that human-to-human aerosol spraying. That's why we wear masks. I wear a mask for you, and you wear a mask for me. And that's why we have that mandatory on board the aircraft. So what we're doing on the ground is our ground transfer companies are also utilizing the electrostatic sprayer. I want to get one for my house.
Is that an option?
I don't know, but I see a marketing opportunity out there.
Right.
So that's what they're doing, and they're wiping down the vehicles, and they're not going to be having, sometimes when you get to a destination, you have a big old bus, and it's like 60 people on board, and you're just going to all these hotels.
Yes.
That's changed. That's changed now.
Okay.
So there's that social distancing.
So how's that being addressed?
So now that's being addressed that they only allow a certain number of people on board the buses. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be where like 2 or 3 rows are empty, and then you might have some passengers that are traveling together. Okay. So there's going to be that social distancing on board the transfer company. I mean, we suggest private transfers. We have that option. It's wonderful if it works for your budget. Mm-hmm. What's great about that is it's one stop. You go from the airport right to your resort or your hotel or whatever, and it makes your life a lot easier. Now, here's what the hotels are doing. Buffets will be around, but you will not serve yourself. You will be served by a hotel staff who has a mask on, most likely goggles as well. Mm-hmm. The sneeze guards over by the buffets are being extended down further. So people, even if they walk by and they sneeze or something, it won't affect the food that's there. Okay. Some hotels are going to take a room out of inventory for 24 hours after a guest checks out.
Wow. So
they're going to electrostatic the room. That's why I say this is the revolutionary item that we had in our tool belt, everybody. It's those electric static machines. And they're going to fog the room, they call it. Then they're going to go in and clean the room, let the room sit for 24 hours without a guest. So if, God forbid, there is something, there's enough time for that something to die. And then new customers come in. So the only thing that may affect is if we have a client that says, you know, I had my honeymoon in room 375 at this beautiful resort. Well, they might have to come in a day later if they want something like that. I mean, we can't guarantee rooms, but you know how that goes. But it's just some of the stuff that's being done in the hotels. They're also creating social distancing by the pool, social distancing on the beach as well. So I personally, not because I'm in the travel industry, but I think this is probably one of the safest times to travel out there because everyone, you know, got a whole new way about them.
Right. And I'm also thinking this is also, people are going to have to really do some planning because if they take rooms down for like 24 hours, that means less rooms that will be available.
You are absolutely correct, Toni.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
also lock in your vacation now.
Exactly.
Lock it in
because
now.
when the doors open, when it's like when people feel comfortable with traveling outside of, even within the U.S., you know, feel comfortable with traveling, I'm sure you guys will be booked really quick.
We're starting to see, and customers are calling us saying, hey, I want to go to Hawaii. How come you're not flying there? And we're like, well, we would go, but there's a quarantine until the end of the month.
Right.
So we have a lot of people that want us in those destinations. They want to go. They'll do what they need to do to be safe.
Exactly. And especially flying to the warmer areas because they said that the virus can't survive in warmer areas. So I'm sure those places are filling up real soon. So are you guys, I know this is going to be a lift on the traveler, the agent as well, but what are you guys doing in terms of, what if you fly into a destination that's requiring like a 14-day quarantine? Are you even flying to those places or not?
No, we're not. No, we're not flying there because then what that does is it takes the crew out of commission for 14 days.
Okay. All right.
So that quarantine also is the airline crew.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. One of the things.
And then that plane will sit there for 14 days.
Oh.
Because there's no way to fly it back.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I was on a conference call and they mentioned that. I was like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense as you think about, like, I didn't think, I'm just thinking about the traveler once they get there, they have to be quarantined.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And okay, you mentioned that you're serving prepackaged food for first class. You guys aren't selling anything to the economy seaters?
And thank you very much for bringing that up because I'm looking at my notes and I realized I forgot to mention economy and main cabin areas. Yes, of course. In the main cabin, we've always done more of the Cheez-Its, the Biscoff cookies, the peanuts. Those are always prepackaged as well. Now, what my understanding is your beverage now will no longer be opened for you. You will open it yourself. So the good news about that.
Wow, now that's new.
That's new, and I like that.
Yes, because usually you get like one can and split it between 3 people.
Exactly. Or you ask for the can and you get a little attitude.
Yeah. Right.
Well, not from a Delta flight attendant, never.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to ask was about, let's say, your Delta Shuttle, which would be probably something interesting for business travelers. What's happening with that? Yeah.
So the shuttle, they're coming back to more frequency, and the way the shuttle program works is that basically it's sort of, I hate using the analogy of a bus, but it's like that. Like it'll be there every half hour, and the shuttle goes through certain key cities, like, for example, New York, Boston, New York, D.C. So there's a shuttle there out of LaGuardia. For the clients that are business travelers that are in the LaGuardia, the New York metro area, D.C. or Boston, we are moving the shuttle out of the Marine Air Terminal at LaGuardia to Delta's new terminal at LaGuardia. That is huge. And as a former New Yorker myself, I never understood why the shuttle was on the other side of the world and Delta was on the other side of the planet over there. So that's being corrected and fixed. Now we did start another shuttle program on the West Coast. So we do have Seattle to LA and San Fran, and those two cities throughout as well. So LA, San Fran, Seattle, and then of course San Francisco, LA, and Seattle as well. Those three big business hubs, we have those as well for you. Now, it's not a shuttle, but you'll notice Delta has like every hour on the hour flights from Atlanta to New York, right. Atlanta to Chicago, and places like that, because again, they don't call them a shuttle, but there's a lot of frequency when we get back to full operation.
Okay.
But the shuttle's great.
Stay with the business travelers or the frequent travelers. What about your sky clubs? What's happening?
Oh, the sky clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are closed right now throughout the network because passengers aren't going for business travel into certain marketplaces. But the good news is that they are opening up. They are no longer going to be having the buffets for the time being. There's going to be packaged food for customers to be able to enjoy as well. So there's going to be, we're really practicing more of that social distancing, even in the Sky Club. So there'll be seats that are out of commission, and customers will see that we have something placed on the seat saying, please, you can't sit here and stuff like that. They are keeping track of how many people come in. It's like when we go to Home Depot or a department store and they only allow in a certain number of people. Same thing with the Sky Clubs as well.
So are you
just to make sure everyone's safe.
So are you taking reservations for those, or how are you doing that?
First come, first served.
Oh, another reason. Business travelers usually plan, but those who don't usually travel on business, this is another reason to plan your trip out, especially if you want to use the Sky Club for like long layovers, or if you don't just sit out, with everyone else. Oh yeah, wow. Yeah,
and you know what? You just got me thinking, Toni, of long layovers. We're not flying a full service of aircraft, so we're not going to have the full frequency of flights. So you might arrive in a destination that you're changing planes, and your connecting flight might not be for 2 hours. So the Sky Club does benefit you in that regard. And you can get a day pass.
Oh, okay. And does that come with a cost, the day passes?
Yes, it is. I think it's $29 a person.
Oh, that's reasonable. Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the amount of coffee I drink, it pays for itself. I can see the Sky Club.
So are your Sky Clubs only in major cities, like let's say DC or Atlanta, New York?
Actually, they're in the cities that we have a lot of business travelers to. So you'll find them, believe it or not, in Orlando, Raleigh, Durham. I mean, all the cities you said, Toni, you are absolutely correct. They'll be in the Chicago, the Atlanta, the New York, the Miamis, Dallas, and all that, of course, out west as well. Okay. But there will be in like an Indianapolis, Omaha, Nebraska, some of the markets that, they might not be the big Delta Sky Clubs, but we'll have a facility for them as well. We even have one in Fort Lauderdale, which is a really nice Delta Sky Club. And that really serves the leisure customer that's cruising, that's using Delta Airlines for cruising.
Right. Oh, wow. That's an idea. Yeah. Okay.
And if you have the American Express Platinum card, that allows you access to the Sky Club as well if you didn't buy it from Delta. So we have a lot of customers that utilize it. And it's a nice, relaxing experience.
Yeah.
I don't have it, but my boss does. And whenever we travel together, I'm like, hey, can we do a Sky Club?
Right.
He's like, no.
Right. I try to push the Sky Clubs for those long layovers. For some of my clients, even myself. It's just, you can get a little more comfortable if you have an extended layover versus those chairs that's out and all the traffic and everything.
And all that noise when you hear people screaming of, this flight's leaving, that flight's leaving, and you're like, oh, I have a headache.
Yes. So I read some of the information I was reading. as relates to return to travel. They was trying to push travelers to use the apps for the airlines in terms of checking
Yes.
in and getting your tickets and just anything. They trying to push it towards the app versus the agent, the agent at the counter. So you
Right.
guys doing both or one or the other? The agent.
We're doing both.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're doing both. We still have our agents out there because sometimes technology goes down or something happens. Now, the agents are out there. They have the plexiglass guard in front of them. They are told that they must clean their station every few hours. Actually, I think it's every hour that they're there. They have to clean that entire area. And on a case-by-case basis, if somebody comes and their child or they're hugging the counter, we've all seen those people. They're empowered to go out and clean their station as well. So, but the reason we are talking about the app is we want people to feel comfortable. You know, we have those tools for you. You can check yourself in. You don't need to get a paper boarding pass anymore. You can do everything on the app.
Okay.
So whatever makes you comfortable, we just want you to know you have options. So that you're not like, well, I don't want to fly because I have to carry this and this one's going to. No, you know, we got the technology, we got the tools for you as well.
This is really good news. I'm feeling comfortable already myself. If I can fly tomorrow,
Good.
I would. You know, this is good. This is good.
Where do you want to go?
Europe, but I can't. Well, I don't want to go that far yet, but
okay.
I'll go to Canada.
There you go.
Yeah. So are there any specials or anything that's happening with Delta Vacation?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about it.
We have our worldwide special, which is up to $350 savings on a package, which is pretty rich for what's out there these days. Because some of the prices have dropped, as you can imagine, with COVID around the world. But it's amazing. That's a really great special out there. So we've extended it. I think it ends the end of the month, but they always look at it month to month to extend it.
Okay.
Because right now, unfortunately, the hotels are not offering a lot of specials because their prices are so low anyway.
Right.
If they are open. So we are just to get you guys to come back to travel. We're offering more added values, more money off the bookings. We want you to like to share what we're doing at Delta Airlines and what the hotel partners are doing so that you have that confidence of what's happening out there. And if you don't see what we were talking about just now happening at your hotel or on the flights, please let us know, because that's not the travel world of today, because people want to travel and we need to make them safe.
Yes. So I don't know if you can answer this, but I know we say we want to encourage travelers to go out and travel, and prices are pretty reasonable now. I think I saw an airline ticket to go to Naples. It's like $500 round trip from DC.
From DC, wow.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, yes, go the Amalfi Coast, the Capri, and all that. Yep.
Yeah. So, are you guys still offering the change flexibility, or is that gone now?
No, it's there.
It's still there.
It's there. So if we cancel a flight, our promise to our customer is we're gonna refund you. It's not your fault that we canceled the flight. We had to cancel it because of medical issue or something that's going on in the world. So you're going to get your money back. Now, because we are owned by Delta Airlines, here's the benefit of booking through a travel agent who's booking Delta Vacations, because we're owned by Delta Airlines, is we follow the same policy as our parent company. I will refund the entire booking for the land and all of that stuff as well.
Right.
So that is, we want you to know that you can feel peace of mind knowing that if God forbid you're going to Naples, you're going to go to Capri and have that dream vacation, but God forbid something happens to Italy and the COVID cases skyrocket again, and we cancel the flight, you're fine.
Okay.
No worries.
Now, what if, like we were taught, encouraging people to plan, and of course the first thing I would recommend is they get travel insurance. and get canceled for no reason. I did my first Toni's Travel Talk was with the travel insurance company, and we talked about how important it is, how important it's always been to get travel insurance.
Always been, yeah.
But just in case you have some people who aren't yet convinced that they should get travel insurance, and they book their trip today, but let's say in October, for whatever reason, maybe they're sick or something happens without their control. What is the flexibility in the travel packages?
So with us, if you do buy our insurance, both our programs are change or cancel for any reason. You don't need a doctor's note. We don't care what the issue is. So that saves you there. If you do not buy insurance, whether it's through us or through your travel agent, we are at the mercy of cancellation penalties from the airline itself and the hotel operators. And that is their discrepancy. That's up to them. They're losing money. And, an airline 99.9% can't sell that seat once you cancel that same day. And the same with the hotel as well. So it's an investment in your vacation. It's an investment in, we Americans have such precious little time.
Yes.
And we don't use our vacation time.
Yes.
Something's wrong with us. Where do I start? But, we don't. And that's why we're so stressed out. So that I say get the insurance, make it part of your vacation purchase because it protects you. It protects you. We all have bucket lists. We all want to travel somewhere. I don't want to leave this Zoom call right now and break a leg. But you know what? I'm taking my little boy out for a walk in a little bit. He's a dog. And I don't know what my cards are out there, and nobody wants to get sick, and no one wants to trip and fall, and you got to protect yourself. So
So you guys are going back to the normal cancellation policy, basically.
Normal cancellation policies, exactly. Yeah.
Well, unless you have anything else you want to share with us, Vince, that's it for me.
That's it? I've had so much fun.
We can talk, for another hour. I am open for it.
I agree. You know what? I do have one thing I want to say.
Okay.
And I say this, and, at Delta, we call ourselves the Delta family. And we really are. We are like a family. And it sounds crazy because we're 90,000 employees worldwide, right? That's a pretty could you imagine that family reunion?
No, I can't.
That's a lot.
No, I can't.
But I want you to know that our travel agent partners, they are our family. They're part of our family. They built Delta Airlines. Without them, we wouldn't have Delta Vacations. We wouldn't have Delta Airlines. A lot of destinations around the world wouldn't have the income that comes in without our travel agent partners. And I'm not saying this to plug Toni or the industry and all that, but I think the world has realized right now and has come to terms with the fact that we are the biggest industry on the planet. And we, and when we're suffering, the whole world is like, well, wait. Exactly. I am dying to see my niece. I can't wait to hug my sister. My mom, I haven't hugged my mom in months. I can't wait, whether it's a flight or it's to go see family in Europe or, what, I want to go back to Costa Rica because the people of Costa Rica, I usually tell I probably love a lot of people. I love them all. But it's just such beautiful warmth, and I want more Americans to feel that. And here at Delta, that's who we are. That's who we are. And our travel agent partners, they are an extension of us, and we're blessed to have them.
Thank you.
And you guys, our customers.
So where can they find you on social media or Delta Vacation?
Me?
Well, you?
Yeah, absolutely. You could find me at my New York name. My New York name is Vinny Marsala. When I moved to the South, they changed it to Vince. So I was like, hey, what happened? But you can find, and there's no way you won't know it's me because I tried to have a personal Facebook page Didn't work out. There's planes everywhere. There's stuff about Delta everywhere. So that's what I am.
Okay.
Delta Vacations is also on Facebook at deltavacations.com.
Okay.
As well.
Great.
But always remember, use your travel agent. They're your advocate. Toni asked me to do something, and I'm like, yes, when? Let me clear stuff. So it's really important to us. So,
yes.
yeah, that's where you can find us. But
yeah. I appreciate you, Delta Vacation and representatives like yourself, and as well as my other vendors, because literally I reached out to you guys, and you guys like, yes. I got to go back and forth. I got, it's like, okay, when do you need us? And I appreciate it because, especially for my clients who travel out the country, and I try to resolve as many problems as I can on my own. But sometimes I need the heavy lifters, and so you guys have been great at being accessible. And in turn, I can provide, a great service to my clients. One of the things that I think that makes me a great agent, and is that when my clients travel, I'm available to them 24 hours when they leave the country, because it's different time zones, and I know what it's like to get in a different country and you can't find your luggage, or the hotel don't have the registration, or there are other things that can happen. I had one client, they were going on a cruise, and the plane, I forget the reason what happened, but they were supposed to fly into Miami. So that's where their luggage went, but the flight took them to, I think, Orlando.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Meanwhile, we needed to get their luggage and get them to the ship.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And this all happened I think 5 a.m. Right.
Wow.
So, I reached out to my suppliers, and you guys were able to help me resolve the issue. So again, thank you for taking the time to do the Tonis Travel Talk. And I'm looking forward to working with you or Delta Vacation overall for future trips.
Well, we're always here for you, and we are honored to have your business. So
thank you.
We're very grateful. Thank you, Toni. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity. And you know what? We're ready to travel when you feel comfortable to travel. We like to share what we're doing.
I know I feel better about using Delta Vacation in terms of the information you shared with me today. So I think I'll be safe.
Thank you, Toni.
And I hope the viewers feel safe or more confident moving forward too, whenever they're ready to travel. Again, thank you so much. You and your family stay safe, and hopefully we'll be talking soon.
You too, Toni. Okay. We'll talk soon. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Toni. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So that's it today, guys. So next week is our last session for Toni's Travel Talk, and it will be with Norwegian Cruise. So we'll have a representative with us then. So hopefully I'll see you next week. And again, I apologize for not going live today. But again, we have to stay flexible with the industry. And so he was still able to do his presentation. We just had to pre-record it. So leave your questions in the comment and I'll respond to you. And if I can't answer it, I can reach back out to Vince. Again, thank you. Bye for now.